either I'm not black enough, or you're African but you don't really look African, or things along those lines. You're African but you're not really really African, are you? Like,
As far as our different cultural backgrounds, how you experience that cultural difference. So with Hanifa, you being from the Caribbeans, and then Kat, you being from Sudan but living in UK,
mhm.
do you ever feel that you have to prove yourself to either side? Like, do you ever feel like they
Mhm.
you have to prove yourself to, like, you're in the United States, we do have that thing where it's just like, oh well, you're not really a part of us. And then you go back home, do they ever like, well, you've been over there, you've been
Oh,
westernized?
Yeah,
I'm,
they
I'm
love that
sure
word.
Kat could probably speak more to this.
Yeah, I hear that word a lot. And when I go back, I don't really hear it. Probably not that much. I think when we were probably younger, but I think now they probably just look at me as like, a tourist, someone that comes every like 3, 4 years and hangs out with the family and, enjoys the food, the culture, then goes back. They're like,
Just right.
yeah. But in the UK, I used to live in London where there was quite a large Sudanese population there, both Sudan and South Sudanese people. And people from the Horn of Africa, Ethiopians, Somalis, Eritreans, etc., etc. So it was a nice melting pot. But I think for me personally, I've not really dealt with my Sudanese community as much probably in the last 10 years, just because I think mostly because most Sudanese adhere to Islam and it's just not my thing. They're very
Mhm.
yeah, they're very strict with it. Like Hanifa was saying, both my parents are actually both still practicing and Muslims. I come from a family, 5 children, none of us practice in that way. And I think that probably had a lot to do with probably being in the UK, where it's a very secular society. People don't really push religion. I think a lot of people assume that I'm a Muslim just because of the country that I'm from,
Mhm.
but I'm not. But yeah, fitting in here, I don't know. I've heard I've heard some funny things over the years that, either I'm not black enough, or, you're African, but you don't really look African, or, things along those lines. You're African, but you're not really, really African, are you? Like things like that. Very ignorant, silly comments. But
Mhm.
that was probably more when I was, probably a teenager or my early 20s, where for some reason, Sudan, I think at that point, it was the largest country in Africa, but no one ever seemed to know where I was talking about. And they would say, Sudan, where? Saudi Arabia? Like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, no, Sudan is like, it's the largest country in Africa. You don't know where it is. Like, I had this like attitude, like, you're all stupid. But no one really knew about it. It really was funny that I really had to explain to them. It was like this country that was pretty quiet. And I think a lot of people maybe when they saw me, they probably presumed I was from somewhere else, and
Mhm.
I don't know, they didn't really ask. But when I would tell them, they were like, where? But it's okay. I think over the last, few years, I think a lot of people have become a lot more familiar with Sudan anyway. So yeah, but I've not really found it that difficult. I don't think I've ever struggled with my identity. I'm very proud to be an African, born in Africa, um, the history of my country and my people. So, I'm always excited to talk about it with people if they're not really sure. Um, and yeah, I just have conversations with them. So I never take it as offense anymore that they don't maybe know much about it. But once they hear, oh, it's Nubia or it's this, and it kind of starts clicking, and they might say, okay, I've heard of that. And um, yeah, and then we start going from there.